Conservative new media viewers and Jeremy Lin fans around the world, what's going on? We are here to analyze and break down Houston's 112-104 victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland, Ohio. Now, with the win, Houston improves to 20-14 on the year. They have won 4 straight games, and they are now 7-8 on the road. And it's a really good sign because this month of January 2013, they have a heavy road schedule. And the one flaw for the team has been their play on the road. But now they're just one game under 500, and they're starting to really gain some momentum. This game was back and forth if you watched it. Houston was playing on a back-to-back after playing last night. The team wasn't that sharp early, except for Jeremy. Jeremy was good early in this game. But James Harden, Beard, really came through in the fourth quarter of this game and helped carry Houston to the win. Harden finished up with 29 points, so he did have some Beard sanity, and he really got to the free throw line a lot, had 7 steals, which is amazing. And the bench came through big once again. The bench for Houston is really starting to become a real asset for the team. Houston's bench had 41 points and 21 rebounds. Cleveland's bench only had 21 points and 10 rebounds. So that core 4 on the bench, Tony Douglas, Carlos Delfino, Patrick Patterson, and Greg Smith, really are getting it done. Greg Smith, I don't think he's played much the last few games, but he got some good run tonight, and he had 11 points and 11 rebounds. Now, we've talked about how Houston is working to strengthen its bench with James Anderson and Patrick Beverley, guys that they just signed. Anderson's with the team. Beverley is not yet with the team. This bench is going to help the team make a push to the playoffs and maybe be able to get a little bit done in the playoffs. So just having that much depth is such a luxury. When you see teams like the Los Angeles Lakers or other teams that are very good on the top end, but they have no depth, and then you see these guys come in, it's such a luxury. And if they can get 1 or 2 more guys, just one more guy like James Anderson, so that they don't have to play Delfino at the 2 and the 3, shooting guard and small forward, just so he can rest a little bit more. And then you get maybe a scorer, maybe Patrick Beverley or somebody else that can score, just has a kind of a designated scorer role. This bench is going to be almost totally complete, and they're only going to get better as almost all of them are young. So this is really great. This was a big win for the Rockets. This was a game. Cleveland is not a good team, or they don't have a good record. Houston really needed to win this game, and I wasn't sure they were going to win it. It was back and forth, but they did get the win. This is the type of victory that's going to help them secure a playoff berth and give them more and more momentum. Okay, let's turn to Jeremy. Jeremy had 20 points, 4 boards, 5 assists in 38 minutes. He shot 7 of 13 from the field, which is great. He hit 3 of 5 3-pointers. Excellent. 3 of 5 from the free throw line, 1 steal, 4 turnovers, and his efficiency number, which again is positive stats subtracted by negative stats, was 18, which is good. It's not incredible, but it's good. He did a good job against Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving had 30 points in this game, but he also had 8 turnovers, and he shot 10 of 24. Kyrie's efficiency number was 21. So this was pretty much a draw. And Kyrie is considered probably the best young point guard in the league, along with Russell Westbrook. But Russell's been in the league about 5 years, even though he's not very old. Kyrie is considered probably the best new point guard. And, of course, many people know Kyrie Irving plays the character Uncle Drew on those, I think they're Nike commercials. It's really funny. I like those spots. I think they're done pretty well. So Kyrie Irving is certainly considered a star and someone who's going to be a star. and Jeremy played great against him. He really played him, like I said, to a draw on Kyrie's own court. So very impressed with that. Linsanity 2.0 was back after a 2-game absence. I told you guys I thought Jeremy would bounce back. Again, he is over the hump. He's not going to keep having bad game after bad game after bad game. He's past that now, despite what haters or doubters or anybody else thinks. That's over with. So I wasn't surprised that he played well in this game. Kind of figured that he probably would play well. Now, in the first quarter of this game, I've talked to you guys about this before. We've talked about blown assist. A blown assist, at least the way that I use that term, means when you pass the ball to a guy and he either misses a shot that would have been an assist for you, or else he gets fouled while shooting the shot. And if you get fouled, then it doesn't count as an assist. Even if you go and you shoot 2 free throws and you make them, the guy that gave you the ball doesn't get an assist. In the first quarter of this game, Jeremy had 6 blown assists. So even though he finished up with just, 5 assists, he could have easily had like 10 assists. For the whole game, he had like 9 or 10 blown assists. So, and some of that's just, some of it happens. I mean, guys don't make every shot. It's, it doesn't work that way. Some of it is that Omer Asik doesn't finish that great. For example, if Jeremy Lin was passing to Amari Stoudemire in his prime on some of these things, then everything would be dunked. So he'd get a lot more assists than Omer getting blocked or missing little shots at the rim. So, I mean, that's just when it happens. But Jeremy's numbers could be even better than what they are. That's probably the best way to say it. His assist would be even better than what they are now if a couple of the guys finished a little bit better. And again, some of it's just normal, and some of it is just Omer's not the best finisher in the world yet. Omer's young. He'll get better and better. So, but I knew the way that Jeremy played in the first quarter, even with all the blown assists, I knew he had a good rhythm. He started the game quickly. We talk about how Coach McHale wants him to play fast. He was playing fast, and he was carrying the team. The team didn't have a lot of pace. They didn't have a lot of they weren't shooting that well. James Harden was not playing well. James Harden started this game like 1 of 9 shooting. Really poor. So Jeremy was kind of carrying the team. And I knew that even though he didn't have big numbers in the first quarter, I knew that good things were going to happen because I could see that he had found his little zone. And that started to happen more in the second quarter. The other thing is, Jeremy took it to Kyrie Irving. He took it to Uncle Drew. And that's good. We talked about how all these guys, or many of these guys, are trying to go hard against Jeremy. What he did tonight was he took it to Kyrie Irving first. Now, Kyrie Irving was doing some stuff on him, and Kyrie hit that little shot against Jeremy, the three-pointer at the buzzer at halftime, and he was getting some get back. But the thing that was good about this game was that Jeremy struck first. He wasn't waiting for Uncle Drew to go at him. He went at him first. That's really, really good. It's like in a boxing match. Don't wait for the guy to hit you first. You go hit him. And that's what Jeremy did in this game. He said, I'm taking it to him. He's going to come at me. I'm going to go at him. And he started that. And that was really good to see. Really good to see. The other thing is, Jeremy played well early, even though Beard didn't. And that's what's going to make this backcourt so good, is that when both of these guys are at the top of their games, one of them can be off a little bit and the other guy's going to do great. It's almost like LeBron and Wade. Now, I'm not saying these guys are at that level because they're not, but you saw what can happen tonight. Jeremy's hot early. Jeremy's hot in the first half. Then Beard takes over, and the team wins the game. And that was done really well tonight. Jeremy picked up Beard tonight. We've talked about how in some recent games the bench has picked up Jeremy, or Tony Douglas has picked up Jeremy. Well, that's what Jeremy did tonight for Beard, and then Beard got it rolling in the fourth quarter, and Houston wins. And that's a really good formula for success. Now, in the second quarter, Jeremy hit, I believe, 3 3-pointers. All 3 of the 3-pointers that he made were in the second quarter. He hit one from straight on. He hit one from about 35 degrees off of to the right of straight on, and then he hit one from the left corner. A lot of times people say, why does Jeremy shoot so many 3-pointers if he's not good at it? The reason why he does it is because Houston's offense is geared to shooting 3-pointers. It's geared for either an inside, drive to the rim, or an inside post move by Omer or Greg Smith, or a 3-pointer. The philosophy is, if you're going to take a long shot, it might as well be a 3-pointer. And I understand that. There's if you can get an extra point, sure. I mean, that's what you want to do. Now, that's not Jeremy's game, as we know, and as we've talked about. He's not a good 3-point shooter. So you're kind of putting a square peg in a round hole. But Jeremy's starting to adapt to that, and he certainly adapted to it in the second quarter. Jeremy likes to shoot mid-range shots. He likes to shoot off of the dribble. He likes to dribble and then shoot. And he likes to shoot mid-range shots instead of 3-pointers. So this is the most difficult thing for him. You're making him a standstill shooter from 3-point range, which is the thing he is least comfortable with. But what you saw is that when he's hitting those shots, everything else opens up. It opens up for him because then guys have to, if you hit 3-point shots, guys have to come and challenge your shot when you get the ball in a shooting position outside of the 3-point line. If they have to come up and challenge you, all you do is you pump fake them and you go right around them for a layup. The way that defenses play Jeremy right now is they play off of him. Like, we want you to shoot. When a guy plays off of you, it's much harder to get a layup. It's much harder to drive to the rim. So when you're hitting those shots, they have to come up on you. Jeremy has a very quick first step. So if guys have to come up on him, he's going to get to the rim, and he's going to get even more points. So what you saw tonight is what it can look like for him when he's hitting that shot. And I've told you guys before, when he can hit 3-point shots, his scoring is going to go through the roof. He had 20 points tonight, and he didn't even, he shot like 10 times? I mean, he didn't even shoot that many times, 11, I don't know, something like that. So, 13 times. Oh, okay. Still not a ton. I mean, he could have shot more than that. This is what it's going to look like in this offense when he can pretty much do everything. When he's hitting shots like this, there's nothing he can't do, and it will help the entire offense because it'll give more space for other guys to drive to the hoop. If a guy is playing off of you and letting you shoot, then he can help out on other offensive players. He can sag and he can kind of go and double, etc. When you're shooting, that means a guy's closer to you. That means there's more space for other people to drive to the lane. So this was a very good example of what it will look like when Jeremy is able to consistently hit shots. Now, is he going to hit, is he going to shoot 60% threes? No. I mean, nobody shoots 60% threes, 3 out of 5, but he can hit more of them. And when he's able to do that and guys have to respect it, then it's going to get better and it's going to get easier for him. Jeremy had 14 points at halftime. He was the high scorer of the game. Something that Kyrie learned in this game, which is the same thing that Russell Westbrook and General Grievous learned, is it's not easy to go against Jeremy Lin when you're on offense and he's playing defense. You saw what happened in this game. He was causing Kyrie to miss on drives. Kyrie was turning the ball over. Jeremy was getting steals, and other guys were getting steals because Jeremy was forcing Kyrie into bad positions. And look, Kyrie did some good things against Jeremy, but Jeremy definitely held his own here. And again, Jeremy, we talked about the Jeremy Lin Revenge Tour. Well, now it's a Jeremy Lin Respect Tour. And Kyrie learned it tonight. It's not that easy. That's what all these guys learn. It is not easy to go against him. He's bigger than you think. He weighs more than you think, which means it's not easy to muscle him and push him. And he's more athletic than you think he is. So Kyrie learned the lesson tonight. And that's going to help Jeremy in the future. It's going to help him because, when guys respect you, things open up for you more. They don't think they can just do whatever they want against you. And sometimes guys play better than they're capable of when they don't think you're very good. Because they're comfortable. So they're saying, I can beat this guy anytime I want. When they don't feel that way, things go a lot better for you. And that's what Jeremy's teaching these different guys is, it's not going to be that easy. And that's what Kyrie learned tonight. Now, I thought that Jeremy got some tough calls in this game against him, some of the foul calls. And I don't think he got a lot of calls in his favor tonight. But he did get the last laugh on that score, and we'll talk about that in a second. Another thing I noticed is Jeremy's ball handling is so much better than it was even early in the year, just from 6 or 8 weeks ago. His ball handling is so much better now. You almost never see him get stripped of the ball. When he gets turnovers now, it's on passes that he shouldn't have made, or when he's making a move, maybe he'll kind of try to do something too quick, too herky-jerk, and he'll lose the ball. But early in this season, you remember, he was driving to the lane. He was getting stripped all the time. It was like watching Dwight Howard. He gets stripped constantly when he gets the ball down low, does Dwight Howard. Now, Jeremy, you never see that now. That shows you how much he's worked at it. It's a confidence thing, but it's also he's worked at it, and guys respect him more, meaning they don't think they can strip him of the ball all the time, and so they're not trying. That's good. That's an offshoot of getting guys respect. But he's clearly worked at it. And that just shows you how he's going to be able to improve other aspects of his game. If he can improve that much, that quickly, on that one area of his game, then think about how he's going to improve other areas of his game once he puts the time and concentration into them. I'm really impressed with how much better he dribbles the ball now. He's much more comfortable now. Like, I don't even think about it, he can't go left. I don't even think about that anymore because he can go left now. Can he keep working on going left even better? Sure. But you don't worry about it anymore. Like, no, he just can't do that. Right. He can do it. And so that's really good. That's really good. One of the things that Jeremy can learn from Kyrie Irving is Kyrie Irving has a bunch of one-on-one moves off the dribble, setting his defender up, shots, fakes, get to the rim. That's something Jeremy needs to work on. And we've talked about that before. Jeremy needs to continue to work to be able to get his own shot against guys one-on-one, whether they are his defender, another guard, or whether there's a pick and roll and he gets switched and a big guy's guarding him. You definitely want to be able to take the big guy off of the dribble or fake him out and get a good jump shot. We've talked about this before, and I've said Chris Paul's the best guy I know at this. If you saw Chris Paul against Kobe last night, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Chris Paul set up Kobe and was hitting those fadeaway jump shots. That's something Jeremy is going to want to work on. I mean, he has it a little bit, but it's something he's going to be able to keep working on along with his shooting. The play of the game for Jeremy Lin, and this was the play that I thought sealed the game for Houston. The score was either 106-103 or 108-103. I can't remember. Houston was up. There was about a minute left to play. Kyrie Irving drove against Jeremy on the right side of the lane, and Jeremy got an offensive foul against Kyrie Irving. Now, when you saw the replay, did Jeremy flop on that play? He might have. He may have. But he certainly sold the foul. That's what I said, is he got the last laugh on the referees and the whistles because he got that call. And I thought that was the call. That was the end of the game once Jeremy drew that foul. And he sold it really well. Now, I know the league has new things against flopping, and, I wouldn't be stunned if Jeremy Lin got a letter from the league saying, we're warning you, don't flop. But when you're in the heat of the moment and you need to make a play to win the game, you got to make a play. Even if the league sends you a little letter the next day, don't flop. That was the Mr. Clutch. That was Mr. Fourth Quarter. That was key. And he really got it done. So that was great. Okay, the summary here is this was a very important win for Houston. They had to win this game. Cleveland's like 8-26. You can't lose this game, even though it's on the road and even though it's back-to-back. You must win, and they did win. Jeremy took the challenge tonight. He took the challenge to lead the team early when the team wasn't playing well and James Harden wasn't playing well. He led the team. He scored for the team, and that was really good. He took the challenge against Uncle Drew, Kyrie Irving. He took it to Kyrie Irving. That's really good. And he took the challenge of the three-point shooting. Everybody, you can't shoot threes, you can't shoot threes. Well, he shot them tonight, and that's really important. And I'll say something on this. People say, Jeremy can't hit threes, and how's he ever going to be able to shoot a three? He's going to be able to shoot them the way he did it tonight. If a guy can make threes the way he did tonight, then he can shoot threes. It's just he needs to work at it. What happens for guys that aren't good shooters? When I played, I was a very good shooter. That was one of my strengths. What happens for guys that don't shoot well? Sometimes there's just a flaw in the mechanics. You just don't shoot properly. Your elbows is out too wide. You don't snap your wrist, whatever. What's often the problem for guys is their shot isn't repeatable. And what I mean by that is they don't shoot the same way time after time. And so that's why guys will miss, because one time they get it right, the next time they don't get it right. The form is off. Then it's on, then it's off. I think that's part of Jeremy's problem. I don't think his shot, he doesn't shoot the same way every single time. And I believe I read that somewhere. And if you have that issue, you're going to miss shots because you don't know if you're shooting it correct. When I shot, I knew it. I knew when I shot if I was shooting it right. I could feel it because I was used to it. Jeremy needs to develop that. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't know when he shoots it right, but he needs to develop a consistent, repeatable shot. And once he does that, with as hard as he works and as good as his coordination and stuff is, then I think his shooting will be much, much better. Like I said, look, some guys can't shoot three-pointers. It's difficult for them. Rajon Rondo, Jason Kidd, early in his career. Some guys, it's almost like they just don't, I don't know, they don't have the coordination or something or whatever. But you can always get it better. But when you see Jeremy hitting those shots tonight, you're like, man, look, this guy can do this. He has the coordination. He has the ability to make this shot. He just needs to figure out how to make it repeatable again and again and again. And tonight's a good sign that I think he will be able to do that in time. And it might take time. It could take, it could take a couple years, especially if he feels like he needs to redo his shot. I I've told you guys before what the one scout said, which is, there's a flaw in his shot. There's a hitch in his shot. If that's the case, then he might have to rebuild his shot from the ground up, and that could take time. But he does seem capable of doing it based upon what we saw tonight, and that's a very good sign. Now, I want to give a shout-out to Roxy from Clutch Fans. I was talking with, I think it's a she, but I'm sorry if it's a guy. I'm not trying to offend you. I think it's a woman. We were talking about Kyrie Irving and Lin, and I said, yeah, Irving's definitely better than Lin. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, Kyrie has more talent than Jeremy does. He's got more flow, a little more athleticism, but Kyrie's got a lot to learn. You could see today he's a rookie. Jeremy, especially that last play, Kyrie got flustered at different points in this game. Jeremy was more in command of the game than Kyrie Irving was, I thought. And that comes with experience. So, Roxy, I agree with you. You're right about that. You said you weren't sure about Kyrie, and he has to prove himself. And you're right. Jeremy showed more poise tonight than Kyrie Irving did. I thought he did. And that's an experience thing. And Jeremy certainly is learning quickly. Now, another question, I'd say another question because he asked a question in the last video. Maximus from Hong Kong said, how does Jeremy get to the next level? What does he need to do? Maximus, you saw it tonight. When Jeremy is able to hit that three-point shot, the way that he hit the shot tonight, that's going to open up everything for him. Everything. Because, like I said, once he can do that, then he can get to the basket on drives whenever he wants. And another thing that was really good, I can't remember when it was now. Jeremy had a drive where it was in transition. He had gotten a rebound or someone got a rebound, gave him the ball, and he drove down the lane. And it was in transition. And he just basically it was almost like what Beard does. He just kind of put his hands up and drew a foul. I've never seen Jeremy do that before. That was a really smart play. When Jeremy is able to get foul calls like that consistently, like the way Beard does, then he's going to be even more unstoppable. So it's learning how to draw contact on his drives. He's pretty good at it, but he needs to get better at it so he doesn't take a beating all the time. So he's not getting the little head gash that he got yesterday against Sanders from Milwaukee. Beard's good at getting fouls, but he doesn't get beat up too much. And that's because he extends his arms out. Guys hit his arms. So hit the three-point shot. Continue to work on the ball handling. Continue to work on your individual offensive moves. Like I said, Kyrie Irving's good at. And keep working at being able to draw fouls. When Jeremy is able to hit the shot, and which means he'll have an easy lane to the basket, and he can draw fouls easily, then he's going to be unstoppable. Then he's going to be able to score, 25 points a game. I'm not saying he will score that, but he will be able to score that. And that's coming. Jeremy, if he really wanted to now, he could probably consistently score. Well, it depends because of his shot. It depends if his shot's on or not. I would say he could probably consistently score 15, 17 points a game, even with where his shooting and et cetera is. But when he can get those other things in, then you start getting the mid-20s and stuff with scoring consistently. So that's what he needs to do. Continue to learn also as a point guard. Again, Chris Paul, master. You saw that game, the Lakers and Clippers. Chris Paul just controls the entire game. He is a general. So just understanding all parts of the game, all facets of the game. Jeremy's getting there. Again, this is a guy who's played fewer than 100 games in his career. There's 82 games in one regular season. So he's not much over a rookie, but I'm really impressed with how much poise he has and how much just command of the game that he does have, even at this point in his career. So that's pretty much it, Maximus. That's what I would say in terms of Jeremy and getting to the next level, and I think he's well on his way to getting there. Okay, great game tonight. Give us your comments below. Thumbs up, thumbs down on this video. We will include a full set of information, video highlights of the game, box score of the game, game stories in the video description below the video player. Also, information about how you can become part of the Conservative New Media Facebook group, which has over 2,000 members and growing. I am Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. Awesome win tonight. Hope all you guys are having a great day or great night wherever you are when you watch this. Take care.